Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to explore one of the most powerful and underrated features in Excel, the conditional formatting. The conditional formatting lets you automatically change the way your data looks based on the values inside the cells. Instead of manually scanning through rows and columns, Excel can instantly highlight important trends, patterns, or exceptions for you. For example, you can highlight sales figures above a certain target, automatically color code performance scores, add traffic light icons for attendance levels, or even use color scales and data bars to make your spreadsheet feel like a mini dashboard. The best part? You don't need to write any complicated formulas to get started. Excel already gives you built-in rules like highlighting cells that are greater than, less than, duplicates, top 10 items, or even above and below average. And if you want more control, you can also use your own formulas to create custom formatting rules. By the end of this video, you will know how to use all the main types of conditional formatting, including highlight rules, top-bottom rules, data bars, color scales, icon sets, and even custom formulas. So let's dive in and see how conditional formatting can transform a simple table into a visually powerful report. Let's start with the agenda items. As I mentioned in the introduction, we will learn and practice highlight cell rules, top-bottom rules, data bars, color scales, icon sets, and finally, custom formula highlighting. Let me switch to the practice sheet. At the top, you can see a table with 13 columns. We will use this table to practice the conditional formatting rules. For this practice, we will be using the options under the conditional formatting button. The conditional formatting button can be found in the Home tab. So click the Home tab and locate the conditional formatting button. So we will be using these options under conditional formatting button for the practice today. Now before we go with the practice ideas, you can see that one of the column already has the highlighting rules. So let us remove the highlighting rules from this column. So select the cells which have the rules and then click the conditional formatting button. Go to clear rules and make sure you select the first option only. If you select the second option, Excel will clear all the rules from the entire sheet, which could result in a lot of loss of your effort. Click the clear rules from selected cell option. Now the rules have been cleared. Let us jump and start with the first practice idea. The objective here is to highlight cell values under this column, sales Q1, which are greater than 15,000. So let us select the cell values in this column. Click on the conditional formatting button, highlight cell rules, and click the first item greater than. So in the box here, type 15,000 and press OK. You can now see that the cell values which have values greater than 15,000 have been highlighted in red. Let us now move to the second practice idea, which is to highlight performance scores which are less than 70. For this idea, we are going to use the column performance score Q1. So select the cells in this column. Click on conditional formatting, highlight cell rules. Now select the less than item and in the box type 70. Optionally, you can change the default highlight values here. It can be yellow fill, green fill, light red fill, and so on. Let me select yellow fill and press OK. Only one cell has qualified the condition and have been highlighted in yellow. Let's now move to the third practice idea. Highlight department is equal to sales. So we are going to apply the condition to the department column here. The objective is to highlight all the cells where the value is equal to sales. So I selected the cells in this column. Now click the conditional formatting button, highlight cell rules, and then select text that contains item. Now we already have a value called sales here. Select a different option here. Let me choose green fill and press OK. Now all the cells containing the value sales have been highlighted in green. Let's now move to the fourth practice idea. Highlight employees who joined between two dates, 1st Jan 19 and 5 May 2020. So I'm going to use the column joining date column here. Select the cells in this column. Click the conditional formatting. Highlight cell rules and click the item between. So in the first box, type 01 Jan 19. Press tab. In the second box, enter 05 May 20. Now choose the option you want. Let me select the yellow option here. Press OK. Now these are the employees who have joined between the two dates 1st Jan 19 and 5th May 2020. Finally, under this section we have highlight duplicate projects. For this idea we have the column called projects. Let me select all the items under the project column. Now go to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, and select the last item, duplicate values. So in this box, we have two options here in the drop-down, duplicate or unique. You can choose to highlight the duplicate values or you can choose to highlight unique values. For example, if I select unique, you can see epsilon is the unique value on the sheet behind and that is highlighted. But now let me select duplicate item here and then press OK. All these cells are highlighted because each of these values have duplicates. So far, we have been hard-coding the values in the dialog box. For example, we hard-coded the value 15,000 in the box. We hard-coded the value 70, sales, and so on. Now we can do this in a different way. We need not hard-code the values all the time. We can pick the value from a cell. For example, to demonstrate that, let me redo the first practice idea. Select sales Q1 and then clear the rule first. Apply the conditional formatting once again. Highlight cell rules greater than. Now I will not be hard coding the value here. Instead, I will select the cell here on the Excel sheet, which is D12. You can see the value D12 appear here in the box. Now press OK. Now in this box D12, you can type whatever the condition value you want. For example, let me type 15,000. Now according to this value, the cell highlighting will change. For example, if you want to highlight cells greater than 10,000, change the value simply to 10,000 here. Now all the cells dynamically change based on the new value. Likewise, you can apply the same method for the remaining practice ideas as well. Let's now move to the top-bottom rules. The first one under top-bottom rules is top 10% in sales Q2. So the column is sales Q2, column F. Select the cells under column F. Click on the conditional formatting button on the top. Now this time, select the top bottom rule item and then in the sub menu, select top 10%. Now there is a pop-up you can see. You can type 10% or 20% or 30 or whatever is your requirement. Based on that, you can enter the value here. So let me put 10% as the value. Press OK. Now 19,000 lies in the top 10% of these sales value. And as I demonstrated, you can very well go and change the value to reflect top 20%, 30%, or whatever is your requirement. So if I change this to 30% and press OK, the top 30% of the values will be highlighted for this column. Let us move to the second practice idea, bottom 10% attendance. So we have the attendance column here, column L. Select the values under attendance column. Now go to the conditional formatting button, click the top bottom rules, and then click on the bottom 10%. Again, here we have an option to change the value. Let me keep it to 10% for now. Change the highlight colors to green. Press OK. Now just one value qualifies for the bottom 10%, and that is highlighted in green. Finally, under top bottom rules, we have above below average in performance Q2. So the column now is performance Q2, which is column G. Select the cells under column G. Now go to conditional formatting, top bottom rules, select above average, select the highlight option to something of your choice. Let me select green and press OK. So the highlighted values are the cells which are above average. So Excel automatically calculates the average of the values in this column. For example, the average of all the selected cells is 81. So the highlighted values are all above 81, as you can see. Now I can change this to below average. So to do that, select all the cells, go to conditional formatting, clear the rules. Now again go to conditional formatting, top bottom rules, click on the below average and press OK. Now these are the values below average. As we just saw earlier, the average value for this column is 81. So these values 78, 75, 70 are all below 81. Let's now move to the data bars. Data bars visually represent the magnitude of values in the cells with horizontal bars, making it easy to compare numbers at a glance. We will now apply the data bars to the sales Q3 column to show relative performance. So select the values under sales Q3 column. Click the conditional formatting button. Now click the data bar item. Excel provides ready-made templates for data bars, as you can see here. Choose one of them based on your need. So let me choose the orange data bar. You can now see data bars in each of these cells. The width of the data bar in each cell is proportional to the relative value in the cell. The maximum value in the cell is 25,000. So the data bar covers the entire cell. The minimum value is 5,900. So the data bar covers just a small portion of the cell. Now if I change the value of any cell, Excel recomputes the width of each bar to accommodate for the change. For example, if I click this maximum cell value and change this to 35,000 and press enter, Excel now recomputes the width of the data bars for each of the cell in the column. Let's now move to color scale. With the color scale feature, Excel applies gradient colors to the cell background based on the cell values, helping you quickly spot highs, lows, and patterns in your data. Excel has 12 different color scale templates, and the colors applied by these templates can be customized. So let us now apply the color scale to the performance score Q4 column. So select the cells under performance score Q4. Click the conditional formatting button. Now click the color scale button. Now as you can see here, Excel provides you with 12 different templates. Based on your need, you can choose the one you want. Now let me choose the first one, which is green, yellow, and red. Now as soon as you do that, Excel formats the cell background based on the values in the cell. If you want to customize the color scale template, select the cells in this column. Now go to Conditional Formatting button, click the Manage Rule item, and locate the color scale rule here in this dialog. Double click and you get to see the Edit Formatting Rule dialog. In this dialog, you have the option to change the default colors for minimum, midpoint, and maximum. Let me change color for the minimum value. Let me choose a different color. Let me choose the orange, light orange color and press OK. Apply and press OK. When you close the dialog, you can see the new change being applied to the selected cells. Now let's move to the icon sets feature. The icon sets split the values into high, medium, and low groups. The top third values, that is values greater than or equal to 67th percentile, are considered high. The middle third values, that is values greater than 33rd percentile but less than 67th percentile, are considered medium, and the bottom third values, which are less than 33rd percentile, are considered low. By default, the high values use green color, the medium values use yellow, and the low values use red color. Now let us apply the icon set to the attendance percentage column. So we have the attendance percentage column here. We will use the traffic lights icon set for this practice. As you can see, a rule has already been applied on this column. So let us first remove the rule. Click on the conditional formatting button, clear rules, and clear the rules from the selected cell. Now again click the conditional formatting button, go to icon sets and select the traffic lights icon set. As soon as you do that, based on the value, Excel assigns red, green, or yellow icon to each of the cells. Now if you want to customize these icon sets, go to conditional formatting button, click the manage rules item, locate the icon set item here, double click to open the edit formatting rule dialog. You can customize various options as shown in this dialog. You can customize the formatting styles, you can customize icon style, or you can customize the entire rule from these options. You can also customize the icons to a different value. The last practice in this sheet is to create a custom formula to conditionally highlight cells in the employee column, which is the first column in the table. The custom formula uses the AND operator and mixed cell reference. So to understand the use of custom formula, knowledge of AND operator and mixed cell reference is needed. Check out my tutorials on if function and cell reference, where I have explained these two concepts. I have provided the links to these two tutorials in the pinned comment. Let us now build a custom formula. The requirement here is to highlight employees with sales greater than $10,000 and performance score greater than 85. So we are going to use three columns for this exercise. The first column is the employee column, and to highlight the cells in this column, we are going to build the conditions on other two columns, which is the sales Q1 column and performance score Q1. Now select the cells into the employee column, click the conditional formatting button, and then click the new rule item here. In the pop-up dialog, select the last rule type, which says use a formula to determine which cells to format. In the formula box, type is equal to and open the bracket and select the first cell in the sales Q1 column. Convert the cell reference to mixed cell reference. Press F4, F4 once again. Now this will allow the row values to change when Excel tries to apply the formula to the second and subsequent rows. Type greater than 10,000. Type comma. Now select the first cell under performance score column. Again, convert this to a mixed cell reference. Type F4. F4 once again. This will fix the column value to E and then allow the rows to change. Now this value should be greater than 85. Close the bracket. Now this is the formula that we just created. We are enclosing these two conditions in the AND operator function. So the cells will be highlighted only when both the conditions are met. Now let's choose the formatting style. To do that, click the format button. Now you can choose the fill color. Let me select yellow. If you want to change the font, you can change the font. Let me select bold italic. Press OK. Press OK on this dialog. Now as you can see, the cells which have met both the conditions have been highlighted with a yellow background and bold italic font. This completes the custom formatting using a formula. In the final section of this tutorial, we are going to solve an interesting problem using conditional formatting. Let me switch to practice sheet 2. At the top is the data table with 8 columns. Below that is the highlight filter table. There are two requirements here. The first one is to highlight the row in the data table where the property and section values match the property and section in the highlight filter table. For example, we already are showing the highlighted cells here where the property and section in the data table are matching the property and section of the highlight filter table. The second requirement is to highlight the column in the data table where the month name in the data table matches the month name in the highlight filter table. So this implementation is already done. I just wanted to demonstrate the requirement. Let me now remove the custom formatting. Clear rules from selected cells. We will use custom formula to implement this. Let us start by selecting the entire table range here. We will first apply the custom rules to highlight the rows in the data table. Click the conditional formatting button here. Now click new rule. And in the new formatting rule dialog, select the last item which says use a formula to determine which cells to format. And in the formula box, type is equal to, and we are going to use the AND operator because we have to fulfill two conditions here. The first one is to match the property in the data table to the property in the highlight filter table. So to match these two values, we will be using exact function. Type exact, open the bracket, and then select the first cell in the data table, convert this to mixed reference, press F4, press F4 once again. Now this will convert the absolute reference into a mixed cell reference. We are fixing the column to A and allowing the row to change. This is necessary for Excel to apply the formatting rules to subsequent rows in the same column. Now type comma. We need to compare this value to the value in the highlight filter table. So select the cell A19. A19 is going to be absolute reference. Close the bracket. This completes the first condition. Let us now build the second condition. In the second condition, we want to compare the section value in the data table to the section value in the highlight filter table. So again, we will use exact function. Type exact, open the bracket, and select the first cell in the data table under section. Now convert this to mixed cell reference. We are going to fix the column and allow the rows to change. Type comma. Now we will compare the value under section to the value under the section in the highlight filter table. So select cell B19, close the bracket, and once again close the bracket for the AND operator. This completes the implementation of the custom formula. Now let us choose the formatting options here. We will highlight the cell using green color. Press OK. And once again press OK on this dialog. As you can see here, since property 2 and section AAA selected in the highlighted filter matches the values in the data filter, that specific row has been highlighted completely. We will now implement the second requirement. Select the cells under the month column, but don't include the month. Click the conditional formatting button. Click new role. Now select the last option, and in the formula box, type is equal to, and select the cell C2. We want to compare the month name in the data table to the month name in the highlight filter table. Now this time we are not going to use the exact function. Instead, we are going to use the equal to operator for comparison. So let us first convert this to a mixed cell reference. Type F4. With this, we are going to fix the row and allow Excel to vary the column value so that Excel applies the formatting rules to the remaining month columns based on the value selected in the month in the highlight filter table. Type is equal to. Now select the month name in the filter table, which is C19. Now select the formatting style by clicking the format button. Choose any color of your choice. Let me choose yellow here. Press OK. Now press OK on this button as well. Now Excel has applied the filter already. Since we have selected the month Feb, Excel has highlighted the cells under the column Feb. Now I can choose a different value here. For example, let me change the value of section to section T. Now the highlight has changed to a new row. Now let me change the month value to a different value, May. The column highlighting has changed. If I change the property to a different values, let's say property 1, you will not see any row being highlighted because there are no columns which will match both property and section. Now let me change the section to, let's say, section 4. Now as soon as you do that, we have a row matching the property and section in the highlight filter table, and hence the row in the data table is highlighted.